The blade must be held in a pre-coned position. A good way to verify the correct coning angle is to look at the blade straps in relation to the thrust block. When the blade is in the correct position, the blade straps should be equally spaced on the thrust block. This shows a slight gap on the top of the thrust block, which means the blade should be lifted slightly. Looking from the top, down through the bolt hole will help find the correct lead leg position. When you have the correct pre-cone angle and the bolt hole is aligned, the 9/16 inch bolt should go right in with just hand pressure and pass through with little resistance. Remove the blade support and allow the main rotor blades to teeter freely. This must be done in a no-wind environment. Perform the static lead lag adjustment. Make sure the hub plate is level laterally. Each blade must be level in relation to the lead lag position and must float freely on the pitch pins. Note, the one blade on the right is leading too far and will have to be swept back or lagged. To make the proper lead lag adjustments, level each blade by loosening the set screws. Just break loose by a quarter turn the two 5/16 inch bolts that secure the aligner block. Then adjust the blade by either leading or lagging it with the all-thread quarter-inch bolts. Use a small bubble level on the pitch horn. After the blade is level, begin tightening the quarter-inch all-thread bolts. Switch back and forth from bolt to bolt to maintain a level static lead lag adjustment. Next, tighten the two aligner block 5/16 inch bolts. Then tighten the 4 set screws. Also monitor the level on the pitch horn to maintain a level static lead lag adjustment. This can be a sensitive adjustment as you tighten the bolts and set screws against each other. Reference the construction print E20-2000 for the final torques of the quarter-inch all-thread bolts, the 5/16 inch aligner block bolts, and the set screws. Make sure the level bubble is in between the lines after you have torqued the bolts. With the blades teetering freely, set the end plugs and their wood screws on the ends of the blades. The tip weights must have the screws and nuts in their position. Place a level bubble on the hub and check the static weight of the blades. Remove weight from the tip weight on the heavier blade until the hub plate is level. You can remove weight from the heavier blade by grinding off a corner or drilling a small hole in the tip weight itself. Helpful tools to install the tip weight hardware are a Phillips P3 screwdriver, a thin 7/16" open-end wrench, and needle nose vice grip pliers. Once you are satisfied with the static balance, then install the tip weights. Install the end plugs using 3M structural adhesive and the wood screws as per the construction print. Reinstall the two 3/8" teeter block bolts one at a time to prevent excess strain on the other teeter block from the weight of the two main rotors. You will need to follow the procedure in reverse when removing the bolts. These bolts are torqued to 24 foot-pounds. Make sure the main shaft is 90 degrees to the ground fore and aft. Then slide the rubber shaft protector on the main shaft upward. Teeter the blades so they are 7 1/4 degrees to the shaft. Slide the rubber down until it rests on the strap and mark the edge of the bottom strap. Do the same teeter the opposite way and mark the edge of the other strap. Remove the blades to trim the retention strap. To remove the blades, you must place the blades in the pre-coned position with the blade supports, the same as when installing the blades. After removing the 9/16" bolt, never try to pry or force the blades off. Damage to the aligner block bearing will certainly occur. When the blades are in the correct pre-coned position and aligned correctly, the bolt will come right out and the blade will slide right off the pitch pin. Now trim the end of the strap as per your mark and deburr the edges. Install the elastomeric bearings in the thrust blocks and place the thrust blocks on the pitch pin. Do not apply grease to the surfaces of the elastomeric bearings or the thrust blocks. Reinstall the blades. It's normal for there to be some resistance when the blades pivot on the pitch pins when the elastomeric bearings are installed. Make sure the main rotor shaft is 90 degrees fore and aft and laterally. Shim the skids as necessary. Install a 5/16" bolt in the pitch horn clevis that have been ground to a point. Lift the pitch horn high enough to allow the point of the bolt to touch the main drive pin. Rotate the pitch horn and clevis by tapping lightly with a hammer and a block of wood to align the point of the bolt with the center of the drive pin. Connect the pitch links between the pitch horn clevis and the rotating swash plate. Use 2 long 5/16" bolts of the same length in the rotating swash plate when installing the pitch links. Place a straight edge and a digital level on the bolts extending from the swash plate. Use the cyclic stick to set the rotating swash plate level. Now adjust the pitch links to level the chord line by referencing the pitch horn of each blade. The hub plate must also be level at the same time. Measure the distance between the main shaft and the pitch links even with the bottom of the hub plate. The distance must be the same within 1/10 of an inch on both sides. A caliper that measures depth works pretty well for this. Now with the pitch horns in the correct position, you can drill the 3/16" holes in the blade strap that secure the pitch horn. You can drill this while the blades are mounted, as this will maintain the precise hole alignments. However, you must use a drill guide to prevent oversizing the hole in the aluminum pitch horn. Place a box under the blade strap as shown to collect the material. If you don't have a drill guide, then mark the holes on the strap with a 3/16" drill bit and then remove the blades to finish the holes. Place a piece of scrap under the strap to protect the hub from the drill when it comes through the straps. Align the drill guide with a 3/16" drill bit and clamp the guide in place. Add some cutting oil and drill through the straps. Complete the installation of the pitch horns to the blades by installing the supplied 3/16" bolts. Make sure the main rotor shaft is 90 degrees fore and aft and laterally. With the digital level on the long bolts, set the swash plate at 0 degrees laterally. Place the digital level on the pitch horn and with the collective full down, set the pitch horn of both main rotor blades at 1.8 degrees negative. With the collective full up, the blades show a positive pitch of 9.5 to 10 degrees positive pitch on both blades. With the correct pitch settings, tighten the jam nuts on the rod ends. Install the lower 5/16" bolts in the pitch links. Check to ensure there is no binding of the control rod ends when the cyclic is at the lateral stops and the collective is full up. If binding occurs with the rod ends, refer to section 24 in the construction manual. Now, before proceeding with the test procedures of the rotor system under engine power, all the rigging procedures in section 25 must be performed.